In today's podcast, we explore how innovative immersion cooling solutions are addressing the growing demands of data processing driven by AI, 5G, and Bitcoin mining. In this episode, Brian Kincaid, Market Development Manager at FUCHS Lubricants Company, shares insights on how Renolin FECC 10 SIN delivers superior performance, sustainability, and reliability for modern data centers. Brian, the data processing industry is rapidly evolving with trends like AI, 5G, and Bitcoin mining. How have these trends influenced the need for advanced cooling solutions, and what role does immersion cooling play in meeting these new demands?
So the big thing that happens is that there's a need for moving heat away from the chips at a much greater level than has ever been experienced before. It shows up at the chip level, at the server level, and also at the rack level. So it ends up being a problem for the data center industry sort of in a lot of different ways. What's interesting is that you can solve it with a few different techniques, and they all fall into the bundle of liquid cooling. So immersion cooling is just one kind of liquid cooling. And when you look at all the options that are out there, what immersion cooling really brings to the party is probably the best power utility effectiveness, which is really another way of saying energy efficiency. And so what that means is that potentially you could save energy within your data center using immersion cooling. And potentially that energy, if you didn't want to just save it, you wanted to use it, you could apply it to providing AI compute power, right? So you could save, let's say, a kilowatt and then buy a kilowatt server, right? If it, in a small case, or you could save a megawatt and buy a megawatt set of AI, right? And then the other things that immersion cooling brings is higher compute density. In other words, you're not just constrained by energy, you're also constrained by space, or maybe you have some water usage regulations that you'd like to be under in terms of sustainability. So immersion cooling helps you to do all those things. And then the last thing that is expected to happen and is beginning to be demonstrated as immersion cooling is accepted in the industry is that it actually can improve your server reliability because it's limiting the temperature excursions that the server is going to see and also minimizing dust and oxidation that occurs from air moving over it. So there's a lot of other sort of failure mechanisms that change from air cooling to immersion that could potentially really extend the life of your servers in the data center. So there's a lot of upsides coming.
Now, for data centers considering a switch from traditional air cooling, what are the most significant operational and sustainability benefits they can expect from adopting single phase immersion cooling with Renolin FECC products?
When you think of us and you compare us to maybe some other fluids that are out there, we've taken a focus from a product point of view of focusing on low viscosity, which makes it easier to pump, which means you're saving energy in your pumping electricity power, right? Electrical power. And so that's one part, right? The other thing that we're focused on is material compatibility testing. Everyone's concerned if you put plastics and elastomers into oil that potentially there's some potential damage to those properties of those materials. And there can be. There's certain ones that are of concern. And maybe they didn't have to worry about it in the air-cooled servers. And so this is something new that the industry has to take on, and we've been looking at that very extensively. A lot of other people have, but we've really spent some time on that. We also offer our products are hydrocarbon-based, and they have no global warming potential and no ozone depletion potential from a sustainability point of view. All that said, we also have been focused on industry sort of guidelines and standards and regulations. So one of our products is actually recognized by Open Compute Project as OCP inspired, which means we followed their industry requirements for immersion cooling fluids. And then today, what we're talking about is our new product, Renolin FECC 10 SIN, which has a UL certification, which means they've looked at the specs of what we're doing somewhat to where OCP is at, but also to where they see it for different standards, and they've certified it for immersion cooling for information and communication technology equipment. That's something that nobody else has right now. So it gives a lot of feeling of comfort about the product.
Now, Renlin FECC 10 SIN is highlighted for its superior cooling performance, dielectric properties, safety, and environmental profile. So, what technical features set this product apart from other immersion cooling fluids?
Really, what this was designed for, and where we really spent a lot of time within the development team, was balancing low viscosity and a high level of safety in regards to flammability, which is one of the concerns people have. So in this product, we really took and put it at a point where we feel that it offers a really good balance in that respect, as well as with respect to material compatibility and price. So we didn't end up going and solving all these problems and having something that's much more expensive. That's sort of the overall, let's say, gestalt of the design. The other things that we looked at was we actually saw that we wanted to have long fluid lifetime, and we also, wanted to get that UL certification. That's basically the main points of what makes FECC 10 SIN different from our other products and potentially from a lot of other offerings out there.
FUCHS also emphasizes a sustainable mindset and offers services for coolant life cycle management. How does FUCHS support customers in maintaining fluid performance and minimizing environmental impact throughout the life cycle of Renlin FECC products?
So the important thing to think about is that FUCHS has always had this global commitment to sustainability, and it's sort of built into our DNA in the company, in our culture. So we looked at this and said, not only does the data center industry want it, but this is what we want to do. And so we offer sort of cradle to grave approach to this. And what I mean by that is we actually put the product in and said, hey, we want it to be sustainably designed in the first place. We want to think about its life and how long it can last, how well we can reuse or recycle it. And then we set up all the services to do that. So we have things where we can do fluid monitoring for you. We can maintain it for you. We can help you understand what it takes to deal with it when you're at end of life. And then we can also help you with all the different kinds of servicing that you could do to the fluids on site. And we'll take care of that for you if you want us to. So that's sort of how we approach the whole sustainability.
FUCHS also offers customization options and global support for its immersion cooling products. How does the company collaborate with clients to tailor solutions to specific data center needs, and how does your global presence benefit customers?
We have a lot of possibilities of customizing the fluid. So there's lots of additives that can change different little performance features. You can change the color if you wanted to. We could be doing things to extend life or even adjust the flammability a little bit. One of the ones I like a lot is a UV dye that you add, and that helps you with leak detection. So these are things that we kind of offer to customers, as well as private labeling or doing additional testing that they need, to help them understand our fluid for their system. It turns out FECC 10 SIN is a example of that. This is a customer came to us and said, this is what we're looking for. And then as we were developing with them, they're like, and you can offer it as a product. I just need it from you guys. And so that's how how this product came about, was from a customer's request for customization in a sense. From a global reach and local support, we really pride ourselves in sort of seeming like a small, agile company, but with a global footprint. We have many different countries where we have production. Right now, we are focused on 3 continents. We make this product in China, in the US, and in Germany at the moment. And we could potentially make it other places if it made sense for us or the customer. And then we have the same thing like I was talking about before. We have that local support where the salespeople as well as application engineers are there to help you. And we have service people that are there to take care and maintain the fluid. So anytime there's a need like that, we're setting that all up for everybody. That's also a standard within a lot of the rest of our product line.
Thank you, Brian, for sharing your expertise on how FUCHS and Renelin FECC 10 SIN are advancing sustainable high performance cooling for the digital age. To learn more about immersion cooling and how FUCHS can support your facility, visit www.fuchs.com or connect with our team of experts for personalized guidance.